All right. Hi, YouTube. Um, so 7 month dreadlock update. Don't mind me, I've had a couple glasses of wine, so I'm a little warm and fuzzy. I'm reporting from Boulder, Colorado. Made it. Um, yeah, so a lot of stuff has been going on with my hair. I went and got them done at a shop, which had its pros and cons. I got my hair interlocked or root flipped, which was actually a really bad idea. I mean, it really cleaned up my roots, but at the same time, I did some research after I chose to do that, and I've read that it can create weak spots and your dreads could fall off. So I'll keep you reported on that. Hopefully everything just kind of loosens up and then doesn't create a problem down the road. I've tried to unflip as many as I could, and that's why I got it done a couple weeks ago, and it's actually, a lot of hair has come loose again. But I think it actually looks better because you could see every single section line. You could see my scalp a lot. I've had a lot of scalp issues since I got it tightened because I think it pulled hairs out of the follicle. So it created lots of like ingrown hairs and pimples. So I've had some scalp issues, lots of itching, drying out with the Colorado air too. So yeah, washing routine is still the same. I've been doing more apple cider vinegar rinses with the scalp. That seems to help a lot. I also did a new thing where I boiled rosemary in water and for like 15-20 minutes, and then I let it cool off, and I would dip cotton balls in it and just kind of like saturate my scalp like throughout. And I've been doing that almost every day for 3 or 4 days, and it's helped a lot. It doesn't smell bad or anything like that. It's completely natural. So I got that from Naughty Boy. So yeah, you can check that out if you want to try that. And yeah, I've brushed out a couple more ends on this side. I know this side has always been a little bit more like wispier, but I've brushed out some more on this side, so you can kind of even up a little bit. Yeah, let me see here if I can show you a little bit more. Another thing that I've done different is that, remember when I was trying to cut my last video, I have like these really like thick ones right at the back. I was thinking about cutting them, and I haven't cut any of those, but I did have one dread that had sections that were like pretty much across my head, and it made this like Y, and there was this space that the hair wasn't growing because they were from like different sections. So I decided to cut that one, and in the result of cutting it, it was cut in half and they both broke off. So I have two dreads now from that one, and they're about this big. There's one, and then the other is right here. So I know everybody's hair is different, so everyone's situation is different, but if I could recommend not to ever cut your dreads, I think that would be a good idea. Because, just think about it. Like, you're cutting a dread that's strong and it's one in itself, and then you cut it in half, so now you have two parts that are half as strong. The hair is cut completely in half. So when I went to go roll it, I crocheted a little bit, and then when I went to go roll it, one of them just popped right off. And then I really tried keeping the other one attached as long as I could, trying to pull hair up into it. Any of my hair that it fell out, I would wrap around the weak spot and try to make it tight. It just wasn't working, so I pulled it out and, decided to let it do its thing. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. a lot of these ones on the side are still really tight from the interlocking and I couldn't undo them. This side, not as much. You can see like the thickness of the dread and then how small it gets at the root, and that's not natural, like you can see it too on this one. It's just not, I didn't really know what I was doing. It was a bad move on my part. I've totally heard, don't ever interlock, and there was a situation with the person that was working on my hair. I thought it was going to be someone, and then they left and they hired someone else, and he did interlocking, and I wasn't quite sure about it, but he reassured me it's going to be okay. But all the research that I did afterwards, I just immediately started unflipping my dreads. So, yeah, I would highly recommend not to ever do that. And I know I won't ever be doing that in the future. So, if anyone's if anyone's that is watching, if you can recommend, different ways for me to maintain my roots, because, I do have some breakage, some hair that needs to go into the dreads. If there's any recommendation on how to take care of that without, doing something really invasive like interlocking or using like synthetic products or anything like that, I don't want to do that. Just try to keep it natural, but still keep them maintained, because with my profession and moving to a new place, that's really why I was kind of in a desperate spot, because I hadn't taken care of them for months, and then I moved somewhere new and I need to apply for jobs, and I want to feel confident and comfortable with my hair and how I look. So I just kind of went and did it. But now, I'm really going to keep up on maintaining them like once a month, but not overdoing it, just taking care of what needs to be taken care of. Anyways, I'll kind of turn around so you can see the back. Some really thick ones. I mean, I think my dreads are coming along pretty nice. They've lost some length with the interlocking, and I think they're shrinking up a little bit more. So hopefully, in the next 3 months or so, maybe if they need to do more shrinking, they will. But then hopefully, I can really just start to gain some length. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with them, and I've had some people tell me straight up, like, strangers walking by me that are like, you need to cut your dreads off. I'm like, who are you to say anything to me or tell me what to do? But, it reminds me of why I got my dreads. And I really wasn't sure when I got them. I just knew that I wanted them, and I knew that they were going to teach me. And I wasn't quite sure what they were going to teach me, but it taught me a lot about my own vanity, I guess. I would spend a lot of time on my hair and worrying about how my hair looked and if that affected my mood for that day, and like my overall, like how I felt about myself. And like, this is raw, like when you wake up, this is what you got. And you can't hide from it, and this is it. And you just, I feel like that it really teaches you to just love yourself for who you are and what you have, and be grateful for it, and that it teaches you self-love. And even if you walk by someone and they don't like your hair, you're teaching them self-love, because if they're going to judge you, they're only judging themselves. They're just not comfortable with themselves, and they want to throw judgment on someone else. And whether they're aware of that or not, I think anybody that has dreads teaches people to be accepting of themselves and accepting of others. And to practice, um, no judgment and discrimination on anything, on appearance, you know, whatever. It's just, there's a lot more politics in hair than I ever realized. And, I really think I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg, and I have much more to learn as I keep my dreads and I grow them, but I'm excited for it. So, yeah, leave any comments that you have about my hair, anything I just talked about, whatever. Yeah, and thanks for watching, and I'll update in probably another month or two, and I'll let you know how I'm doing with the roots and the interlocking. So hopefully they just soften up and they mat together. So anyways, thanks for watching, and good luck with your dreads, and I'll see you soon.